Welcome to the Moodle to Blackboard Transition Toolkit. For this video, we will walk through the process of creating a content area and blank page. As a result of this video, you should be able to build a blank page and content area with diverse instructional tools, navigate the content editor tools, embed and format images and videos, add accessible hyperlinks, implement alternate navigation options, and utilize basic HTML, CSS for improved content design, formatting, and migration. The main two options you will use when building the content for your course is the content area and blank page. To decide which type of page I need to build first, I'm going to refer to the content I need to migrate from my Moodle course. I have 3 introductory blocks that precede my core content and are set up as topics with HTML text lessons. Since a blank page is more appropriate when content is delivered via text and images only, I will start by creating one blank page for all 3 brief topics. To do this, I need to click the plus symbol, select Blank Page, and give my page a name. For now, I'm going to call it Getting Started, but I can always come back and change this name at a later date. Notice the new link was kicked to the bottom of my course menu. To move it up, you can drag it, or you can move it up using the sort icon. Before you begin migrating content, be sure to get acquainted with the content editor. I've added a quick guide handout to this lesson so you can keep a cheat sheet with you as you edit your content. Here's a quick tour of the basics. Using the top left editor bar, you can bold, italicize, underline, and strike through text. You can also change the heading level and the font style and size. On the second row, you'll find the option to cut, copy, paste, and search for text, undo and redo actions, align and indent text, and change the script level. The third row of tools are geared towards enriching your text with multimedia and elements like block quotes, symbols, and emoticons. As we move to the right side of the editor, you'll find options to add and remove bullets, numbering, text color, and highlighting, and preview your work, get info, and change to full screen view. In the second row, you can add and remove links, change the text direction, create horizontal rules, and perform a spell check. And finally, the third row is primarily dedicated to table formatting and coding in both HTML and CSS. Now let's start building. It's important to note that migrating content from Moodle to Blackboard can be a bit tedious, as there is no good way to perform a bulk migration, and copying and pasting HTML code may not give you the results that you're looking for. On the bright side, manually migrating content gives you the opportunity to identify typos, fix dead links, and improve on your course design. For the purpose of this example, I'm going to copy the text directly from my Moodle course page and paste it in the HTML window in Blackboard, which will strip any formatting and allow me to start with a clean slate. Once it's copied over, I'm going to refer back to the formatting of my Moodle course to make the necessary adjustments, starting with the separation and leveling of my headings, then the separation of paragraphs and deletion of extra text that I brought over when copying the text from my Moodle page. That is one downside of doing this type of bulk copy, but it's pretty easy to find and delete the text, and it makes you take a closer look at your text, which can often uncover typos. And then I want to pull over my hyperlinks from my Moodle course. When adding a link in Blackboard, be sure to set the target to Open in New Window and add a title. This makes your hyperlink more accessible. Again, this process of migrating content is a bit cumbersome, but you will notice that I discovered a dead link when completing this step, which I will highlight so the course author can go back in and find the intended link. I'm going to finish up this basic migration by adding some formatting to the text that was emphasized in the Moodle course. And by adding some images to align with the Moodle course. You'll notice I'm migrating the HTML code for the image from Moodle to Blackboard to ensure consistency. And then I'm using the Blackboard content editor to format the image. After submitting, it's good to turn off edit mode to see how your page turned out. Then you can make any necessary improvements until you're happy with the result. If you have modules with a variety of information for students to complete, you can prevent clutter on your course menu by creating a content area instead of a blank page. A content area also provides the option to create a blank page, but you can also organize a content folder or add a module page specific to this module. As part of a content area, you can create or add an item, file, audio, image, video, or web link. You can also compile multiple file types and require sequential completion by forming a learning module. If you want, you can add a lesson plan, a syllabus, course link, a SCORM content package, photo, SlideShare presentation, YouTube video, or Blackboard open content. Again, we are going to let our Moodle course guide our decision. My first module contains a brief introduction, a video, and a quiz. Students are to complete these items in sequential order, so we're going to create a learning module. Let's start by adding a title, then providing a brief introduction, preferably complete with a summary of the topics that will be covered and a list of the associated learning objectives. You could also dress up the front page of your learning module with an image or some headings to emphasize the sections. Then be sure to select your preferred options for the learning module. Consider whether or not you want students to proceed through the content in sequential order, and open the learning module in a new window or their current window. You can also set up the learning module so that students can view it now with their views tracked for reporting purposes. Or you can set it up so students view the content over a specified period of time. Then it's time to set the format of the table of contents for the learning module and submit your selections. You can always come back to this page and make changes if need be. Now let's add some content to our learning module. You'll notice you have many of the same options we have seen before. Since the first instructional component of our Moodle course is an HTML media element, we need to create a blank page or an item. For this example, I'm going to create an item since we've already done a blank page. The great thing about Blackboard in comparison to Moodle is you have the option to embed the media into the text page so students don't have to open a new window to view the content. It's important to note that I've already uploaded the zip file for this media element in the Blackboard course, which you will see me demonstrate in our next video. Once you have done this, all you need to do is copy the URL of the HTML file, go back into your presentation page, click the Video Embed button, and paste the URL in the field provided. You have the option to change the type of embed, and for this example, we want the content to be embedded via iframe for a smooth viewing experience. You can set the dimensions here, but I'm going to show you how to use HTML code that provides a better result. Now it's time to add the next section of our learning module. In the case of our Moodle course, we need to create an assessment. We will cover the creation of assessments in greater detail in a later video. So for now, I'll just show you a quick example. Since our Moodle course assessment is more like a survey in that there is no absolute correct answer, we are going to set up a survey. This will be similar to setting up a test, but without some feedback options and without the option to set correct and incorrect answers. Once we have created our assessment, we can create our first item, which in this case is similar to an opinion scale. After adding the item content and selecting the necessary options, I can submit this item and build my second item, which is a short answer question. Once I've finished creating my items and making style adjustments, I can set the overall assessment options, which we will cover in a later video. And one more thing before we go. While the course menu will be the primary way students progress through your course, you can also add some alternative navigation options. For instance, at the end of each link item, you can add a linked button that takes students to the next section. Here's an example of how you could go about doing this. That's it for now. Tune in to our next video to learn more about the control panel.